Hi there, welcome to the Daily C with Coach C, your daily shot of vitamin C with your favorite coach. Today I want to talk about some pretty extraordinary things, but the first thing that I'm going to bring up, yesterday we talked about reinvention and we talked about understanding, it's not just your vision, you want to understand your why. What is the power behind your vision that really is your emotions, your reasons for why you do what you do. And for the most part, people, you and I, we go to work or we have our businesses or we're entrepreneurs or we have that fire in our belly because we know that we want to contribute. We know that our lives make a difference and we just want to know what is our contribution, what is our purpose, and what value are we bringing. So the first part of reinvention yesterday that we talked about was understanding your why behind your vision and really getting clarity on that. And I hope you took some time to do that. The other thing that is really important when you're looking at reinvention is being willing to put a bunch of opportunities in front of you and try new things on. So it's really important while you have your vision in front of you that you look at also things that you're passionate about and new ideas, new opportunities that you want to try. Even if you don't necessarily know how to make that happen, or you're uncertain, or whatever the case may be for you. And I want to share something with you that happened a couple of years ago. It actually happened last year, 2018, to be honest. And this Daily C is dedicated specifically to one of my business partners, my late business partner, Stephen Coggins. And I miss him every day, and he is gone too soon. But he was someone who took on life and just said yes. He said yes to opportunities. He said, how do we make it happen? And he was one of those entrepreneurs. He was very young, and he was one of those entrepreneurs, he was in his early 30s, who took on risk and tried new things. And we had an opportunity. I got a call from my friend Randi Zuckerberg, and she said, I know this isn't your core business, but I wanted to talk to you about co-producing an off-Broadway musical. And I said, okay, I've never done that before. What do you mean? So Randi said, you're one of my favorite redheads. She has many redheads in her life, but I happen to hit that mark. And she said, the show is called R.R.R.E.D, and this is our off-Broadway musical. And today I received the book and the CD. I don't know if you can read this, but it says, Hello, Redhead Superstar. And this, at the time, I called Stephen and I said, Randi's giving us an opportunity to co-produce an off-Broadway musical called R.R.R.E.D, and it's the Secret Society of Redheads. And he said, let's do it, go for it. And he encouraged me to go for it, and we raised the funding to make sure that we could make it happen. And so this is dedicated to Stephen Coggins and to Randi for pushing me out of my comfort zone, for taking on and saying yes and being a yes in life. Try new things, because had we not done this musical, we wouldn't have met so many extraordinary people and understood what does it, I learned so many things. What does it take to, be an off-Broadway musical, and what is the branding, what's the business concepts, and all of those things and I got to meet the CEO of Hint Water. So Karen is also one of the co-producers of R.R.R.E.D, the musical. So, but more importantly, for me, this really hit home, because I don't know if you're not a redhead, and maybe you knew redheads or you grew up with redheads, what you don't know is that before a certain time period, being a redhead wasn't really cool. And we were subjected to a lot of bullying. We were different. I used to get called Carrot Top and all kinds of nasty names, and kids didn't want to play with me because I had red hair. And now, fast forward as an adult, I have 3 children, 2 are strawberry blondes and 1's a ginger. And it's not exactly the same. Although they do still have Kick a Ginger Day, I really would like to thank the co-producers of, what is that show, South Park. Thank you very much for Kick a Ginger Day, because that actually does happen. And on those days, my kids stay home from school so that they don't get kicked by their classmates. It's a thing. It's crazy what we do to each other. I don't think that was the vision of the co-producers of South Park when they created it, but it certainly did make an impact on me and my kids. But it's more cool these days to have red hair. And did you know that only 0.1% of the population has red hair? And there's a specific gene that creates being a redhead, and it's the MRC1 or MR1C gene. And for a while there was this thing called, if you're a redhead or the redheaded gene, there'll be an extinction period, and by the year 2100, redheads will no longer exist on the planet. Apparently that's not true, that's a myth. However, and I'm doing my best to make sure that I procreated and created redheads, so you will see photos of my kids, they are red. And it's more cool these days to have red hair, especially, if you're watching this and you're looking at this and you know a redhead, hug a redhead, don't kick a redhead, don't kick a ginger. But because we are so rare, we're double recessive, blue-eyed redheads are even more rare because blue eyes is also double recessive. And then many of them have freckles, some of them have darker versions of red hair. My mom is a ginger, my dad was an auburn ginger. I have 2 brothers that are gingers, and I have a sister who's a ginger. It's a family of redheads, so you can see the genetics. What is my point? My point in all of that is that I had the opportunity to complete some things that I hadn't even realized were bothering me by co-producing and saying yes to co-producing this off-Broadway musical. The bullying that I had received as a child, I kind of sloughed it off and thought, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, which isn't necessarily true. What I did is I buried those emotions and I invalidated myself for having red hair and being different. And I know many of you can relate to that experience of being different or feeling different. And that was me. I felt different. I felt like I didn't quite fit in and I didn't belong and I didn't know what to do with a lot of those feelings. Co-producing R.R.E.D gave me the opportunity to complete some of those things from my childhood that were still kind of in the background, eroding my self-confidence. Yesterday, we talked about creating your vision and understanding why do you want what you want for yourself and your life and your business. Well, one of the things that you're going to want to do is become aware and conscious to what are some of the conversations that are robbing you of your self-confidence and where did they come from? Because they're unconscious and they're still in the background running the show today. It's like that underneath the surface. And if they're running the show, then you want to accomplish this big vision, yet, you still don't feel good enough or you don't feel quite enough. You want to really address those feelings and really get them complete. And it's an ongoing process. You won't do it once, you'll do it many times. Many things will come up, but you want to start to do that as a practice. And when I had the opportunity to co-produce R.R.E.D, I got some of that complete and I was able to bring laughter to it. I was able to talk about some of the nasty things that kids called me and some of the really negative experiences and being beat up, being put in the garbage can, being hung on the locker. All of that happened because I had red hair. I didn't choose the color of my skin and I didn't choose the color of my hair. Nobody does. You didn't, I didn't. And I think it's an opportunity to end. This was supposed to also shine a light on bullying and stopping that because we're all people. It doesn't matter what planet, what country, what color. It doesn't matter where we come from. We're just people. And we didn't choose those things. We were born into them and we inherited a lot of that stuff. So we could end, some of this was designed to end bullying and stop the, misunderstandings. And so I was really proud at the end of being able to co-produce this off-Broadway musical with Randi and my partner Steven and Andy Sandberg and all of the really amazing cast. The cast is Adam Jackman, Katie Thompson, and Patrick Livingston, who also wrote R.R.E.D, and they sang and they did the musical. They were brilliant and funny and witty and bringing humor and laughter to something that was really serious and that actually did some damage to a lot of people as a child, like eroding their confidence. And maybe you didn't go for it or you didn't think you were good enough. And I certainly didn't think that I would be good enough to, as a child. And I carried those things around with me. And until I got coaching and until I spoke on large stages internationally, some of that didn't disappear. Even as an adult, I still have to battle that lack of self-confidence, and I still have to battle those things. So when we go to reinvent ourselves, we want to look at what's getting in the way and become aware and become awake. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want to thank all of the people that sent this to me, and for the remember when, and God bless you, Stephen Coggins, my angel. Have a great day. This is your daily dose of Coach C.